Tonight, I'm making 2 low ABV cocktails. Boy, it's dry January, and so everybody's knocking off drinking alcohol. Not me, not Tuesday Night Cocktail Club. We're drinking lighter cocktails, not no cocktails. Low ABV, low alcohol by volume. I have 2 cocktails tonight that are sherry-based and vermouth-based. Lots of fortified wine there, but they're easy to make, and it's just 2 ingredients, equal parts, and they have an interesting story behind them. So I'm going to tell you the story, I'm going to make great drinks, and we're going to have a great time here, so stay tuned. Tuesday Night Cocktail Club meets every week for cocktails and good company. Inspired by the Pro Bar, built for your home bar, no paywall, no dues, no Patreon, just a new drink every Tuesday. I've got the Bamboo and the Adonis. These are sherry-based cocktails. This is as dry as we get here. Anyways, they're both late 19th century classic cocktails. The Bamboo is slightly more famous, though neither a household name. But both have sherry in them, which of course is a fortified wine from Spain. They have an ABV, alcohol by volume, of about 15 to 20%. So it's kind of like red wine. It's not as strong as a regular cocktail, I suppose, a stiff cocktail, but they are relatively low ABV. So the Bamboo is very dry. It's got a dry sherry and a dry vermouth, and the Adonis is more of a medium-bodied, medium sweetness sherry and sweet vermouth. And so they're very different flavor profile, same ingredients, same build, more or less. And they're both great for this time of year, and they're both, worth having in your repertoire. Anyways, the Adonis was the first one invented. I think it's the 1890s. And what happened was at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York, they invented a cocktail after a hit play called the Adonis. And it ran for 500 straight nights, which was some kind of record back then. And so the bartenders at the hotel came up with this cocktail in honor of the play. And I'll go through the build with that one in a second. But probably inspired by that drink, a German bartender, Louis Eppinger, working at the Yokohama Hotel in Yokohama, Japan, came up with this other drink, which is the Bamboo. The thought is, why is it called the Bamboo? It's flexible like a bamboo. It's like bamboo you can use for 100 things. Well, the Bamboo cocktail can really play with the proportions, how much vermouth you put in, how much sherry you put in, and so that's the theory about the name. But the Bamboo was also rediscovered by famous hipster cocktails. Most famously at Death and Company, I'm going to make their version of the Bamboo. It has a little more simple syrup in it, so it's got it's not as bracingly and bone dry as the original. First, we're going to do the Adonis, which is that has the Amontillado sherry, which is slightly sweeter than the Fino, which is in the other one. And so that goes straight into the mixing glass. And then you add 1.5 ounces of sweet vermouth. It's 1.5 ounces of each. And I like to do a little orange bitters. Maybe 2 dashes, and that's good. And so then you give it a stir. And there it is. And then you pour that into your coupe glass. Nick and Nora would work for this too. But right into that coupe glass. And boy, that's really easy. And then also express a orange peel. And there it is. Taste it in a minute. And then we're gonna do the Bamboo here. So just like the other one, it's 1.5 ounces of the Fino. This one is Fino Sherry, 1.5 ounces. Here we go. And then 1.5 ounces of the dry vermouth. I'm using Dolan. And again, this time with the orange bitters, maybe 1 or 2 of that, and 1 or 2 of the Angostura bitters. I really think you can, with both of these, you can play with the bitters. And then it also, this is the Death & Company version. It also has 2-to-1 simple syrup. So it's a very, 2 parts sugar to 1 part water, simple syrup. And so that gives it a little more mouthfeel, and it really takes some of that edge off of it. And so then you give it a stir. I've got my glass here. Same deal. And that's the Bamboo. And you also express an orange peel over it. This is the Adonis. You know, it feels very wintry to me. The sherry feels very wintry. So it's an elegant cocktail. It's a sipping cocktail. I could see using it as an aperitif before dinner. I could see, you know, sitting by the fire, hanging out on a, you know, cool winter day, depending on where you live. It definitely evokes winter thoughtfulness. I do like this cocktail. It's not too sweet. The balance between the vermouth and the sherry is a very good one. It's complex. It has a nice crispness at the end. I think it's a very good cocktail, and it's so easy to make too. And then we have the Bamboo. This is the Death & Company version. Both cocktails have that that sherry funkiness. You know, it's a little bit of an acquired taste, but I think with the with the 1/4 ounce of the simple syrup, it really makes it much more enjoyable. Again, it is a little bit martini-like. It's a sipping cocktail. It has complex flavors. A lot of it is that herbaliness that you get from the sherry and from the Angostura. And it's still very dry. It's still dry, but not very dry. You know, I had a martini at a bar the other day, and I was trying to explain to my daughter the difference between a dry martini and a very dry martini. And this is dry, I mean, but enjoyably so. Again, I certainly would try both of these. Maybe there's a little bit of a comparison between a Manhattan and and this one being the martini. My pro tip this week is the tips on shopping for sherry. It can be a little tricky. I find it hard to buy the sherry because most liquor stores probably have cream sherry. I think I have a bottle of cream sherry here somewhere. And they don't necessarily have the Amontillado. There's Oloroso too, which you can use. Both of those you can use for the Adonis. For the Bamboo, you really need a Fino. But I think a good liquor store, maybe a specialty shop, wine shop would have it more likely than, I think I did go into Total Wine and got this Amontillado, but I think there was a bigger selection of brands, but not necessarily a selection of styles. So you got to go to the right place. And I think you could make the cream work. I mean, the cream is really sweet and very common. I would try to hunt around, for something that's truly from Spain. So now we're going to talk about the club notes here. We're moving through dry January. I've got something in mind next week along these same lines with Amaro. And so that's the drink this week. And so tune in next week. Please like and subscribe. Join us here. This is the channel that's no paywall, no Patreon. And so I look forward to hanging out with you next week.